Hello and welcome to week 2. For week 2, you'll go through your overview of week 2 in both written and video format. And then in the lessons and presentations portion, you're going to read how to read effectively. It's going to give you some tips that can guide you in effective, efficient, and comprehensive reading. You'll go through a handout on annotated texts, writing summaries, how to paraphrase skillfully, how to document sources in the text and on a works cited page, and then you'll read the article really writing again. So you'll move through each of those in the lessons and presentations portion, and then we're going to talk through your assignments for the week in just a few minutes. Okay, so you'll read through that overview, as I said, and you'll have a little bit more detail on how each of the assignments and readings link to the course outcomes and objectives. And then you'll move into reading each of the handouts if we were in a face-to-face setting. In this case, you're just reading through these linked documents in our Canvas page. So as I said, the first one is how to read effectively, and you'll notice that that's just part of a website that's been designed to house the readings for this class. And then you'll read through how to annotate texts. This is an important skill because, of course, as you begin to go on in your coursework for college classes, you'll notice that your reading assignments increase in volume. So keeping track of the information that you're reading through annotations, through careful note-taking, are skills that are not only going to benefit you this semester, but they'll benefit you in the semesters beyond. Then you're going to move into writing summaries. You'll read about that. And really, you'll want to think about this carefully because as you continue on in your college courses, you will cite from articles, so you'll directly quote from them and add the citation. But when you include summaries from a particular source, you'll still need to cite that. But it's important that you alternate some of these direct quotes and summaries and some of your own observations. It's just like when you vary words or vary sentence structure as you move through a paragraph. This keeps the writing fresh and keeps your reader engaged. You'll read how to paraphrase skillfully, and you'll also watch a short video on that. And then you'll move through 2 videos on how to document your sources in the text and on the works cited page in MLA format. Next, you're going to carefully read through this article, really writing again. Yes, writing again. And you'll read through this particular article. I encourage you to annotate, to take notes, to get all of the details, because ultimately you are going to use this article to write a summary. That will be part of your larger assignment for the week. You notice that I've advanced to the discussion forum. The discussion forum is going to read an excerpt from the chapter Literacy is Not Liberation. You'll feel free to annotate as you read, highlighting, underline, writing on the text, writing in the margins, make any notes necessary for your understanding, and then you're going to submit 4 response questions in full sentences so that your meaning is clear. So you'll look at these 4 questions that you're being asked. You'll respond to them. You've been asked to share a written summary of this text with another student who has not read it. Write a short summary in 3 or 4 sentences. And you'll see that our discussion forums usually practice the skill that we're working on for the week, and then your kind of larger major assignment due at the end of the week will also kind of fine-tune that skill. And this week we're working on summary. After reading the text, what do you still want to know about the topic? What point raised in the text did you find most interesting? Was there anywhere in the text where you got lost or confused? And what did you do to make sense of what you were reading? So you've got some advice on how to annotate a sample. Even when you have a PDF, there are tools in Adobe that allow you to annotate. And then, of course, you're going to have your initial response, and then you will respond to at least two classmates. And you can see that, in the heading for this particular assignment, that's broken up over, two separate dates. All right, you're also going to write a summary. And again, that's where you're going to, kind of really zone in on this linked article in our presentations and lessons section. Really writing again, and you're going to, your assignment is to write a 300-word minimum summary of this. Now, you want to follow the criteria for a summary. Remember, this is a condensed version of what you have just read. All right, you also have a writing journal for this week. You'll, for your writing journal number 2, you're going to answer in a 300 to 400 word paragraph the questions 1 through 5 that just help us better as me as an instructor, but you as somebody who is reflecting, thinking about your reading, writing, and language use over time, and specifically now in your life as you enter into an academic setting. All right, that's the assignments for the week. As always, I encourage you to ask any questions you may have. We can always set up a Zoom. You can communicate with me via email, whatever works best for you and your schedule. Have a great week.